What's up, y'all? It's Takaya. So today's video I want to share in this video I want to share with y'all some things that I think you should do before getting locks. Now, before getting into this video, I want to say a few things. This isn't everything that you should do. I feel like it's a good bulk of things that I think that you should do before getting locks. But I find that these are like the go-to things that I say to people when they ask me anything about locks, or if someone's inquiring about the lock process or lock journey. I always reference these points that I'm about to make or things that I think you should do. Oh, my bra strap showing. Great. Another thing, I'm still super early in my journey. I haven't even been locked for a year yet, so I'm nowhere near like a professional or like lock guru, or like I don't have all the answers. But like I said, this is just what I give off my personal experience and my personal opinion. So yeah, if you want to know what I think you should do before getting locks, then keep watching this video. So the number one thing, the main bulk of it, is research. Okay, do your research. Do your own research, a ton of research, all the research. Okay, and so with this category, I have like a few bullet points underneath that. I made me a little list. So the things you should be looking into before getting locks as far as your research should be what you want your locks to look like. If you know the size, the style, what kind of style you're going for, what kind of method you want to use, if you're going to do it yourself or if you need a loctician. So if you go with a loctician, you would need to look into that loctician, research different ones in your area, or look into that. You want to look into the parting systems. There's so many different parting systems you could go with. You should definitely be researching like the stages that locks go through, because there's tons of different things that your locks are going to go through in the beginning process, and just as they mature, it's a good thing to know before getting into something like this. You definitely should look up the pros and cons and see if it weighs out for you, if it's worth it, just things like that. Also, a good thing I liked to look into when I was researching was, even though I thought that I knew what it was, I still did the research anyways, and that's something I recommend too. Even if you think you know something, you probably don't, so you should research it anyways. But I really found it fascinating to look into even the history of locks and just what other people interpret and just like what other people interpret them as, what they represent for other people, just like the history of them and the stigmas and just the culture of locks in general. I feel like that's a good thing to research as well. So yeah, it's really important to do your own research. You don't want to just jump into something like this. And I feel like with those things, looking into like the parting systems, all that I listed, I feel like that will help you even stay confident in your lock journey, because you know everything. Like for instance, the lock stages. If you already really looked into the different stages that your hair is going to go through, then you would feel better and more knowledgeable during your journey, and you wouldn't have to question it so much, and you would just feel like, I know what's going on here, So that's very important. You should do your research. Okay, so the next thing that I think you should do before getting locks is, I think you should love and get to know your natural hair first. Yeah, I feel like before going into locks, you should have a little bit of knowledge on your hair in general. Like for instance, knowing the hair type that you have, knowing the curl pattern, because knowing those things, then you would know, it'll help you during your research of what method you should go about getting these locks. Because if you know your curl pattern, you will know, okay, this method might work out for me. Or if say you're looking into one method and then you realize that method isn't really suitable for your hair type, it's just an important thing to know. I feel like you should really know. It'll make your process a lot easier in deciding how you want to go about getting locks. So yeah, I definitely would say, get to know your hair, and also love your hair, your natural hair, in its most natural state. So what I would recommend is starting to wear your hair with like less and less product. Maybe during your research, start wearing a wash and go with no product in it. Like just seeing how your hair, how frizzy it is without anything in there, you know, just seeing your natural curl pattern, just like your hair in its most natural state, you know, and just see if you are comfortable with it. Because I feel like, you know, if you've been watching my journey, if you watch other people's journey, like your hair goes through some stuff when you're locking. So it's like a lot of frizz, a lot of, you know, out of place hairs. And if you're used to having your hair super like intact and in control and neat, then it might be sort of like a shock to you. So I think a way to kind of get into that comfort, you should probably try getting to know and love your hair in its most natural state. So like I said, just wear less and less product. Try to be more free and carefree with your natural curls first. And yeah, I feel like that might help. So the next and I guess the last thing I have on my list that I think that you should do before getting and deciding to get locks is do all your favorite hairstyles, natural hairstyles, whatever kind of hairstyles that you want before getting them, so that you can reduce the chances of you regretting your lock journey. Before I started locking, I did all my favorite natural hairstyles. I was doing the twist outs because I was like, I'm not gonna have this, you know, anymore, so I'm gonna go all out. I just did all my favorite hairstyles, like the best that I could. I did a flexi rod set. I flat ironed my hair a few times, you know. You don't want to damage your hair. You don't want to do anything too crazy because you want your hair to be at a healthy state before you get into locking. But I definitely tried and did all my favorite hairstyles. So yeah, I would recommend that you know, get you some braids, some box braids, some twists, you know, do natural hairstyles, twist outs, braid outs, all that. I recommend getting faux locks for sure. Even though when you get faux locks, it's kind of like an instant result. You're kind of getting the feel for what your hair will be like years down the road, because it's like a fast forwarded process. Your hair, the faux locks are mature, long locks, you know. But it still gives you a preface of what you would be dealing with long term, so you get a feel for like, you know, is this something I can deal with for years and years, or even forever, however long you decide to have your locks. I feel like it's a good way to get a feel for it. And I feel like usually when you get the faux locks, that's when you're like, yep, I'm locking my hair, because that's what it was for me. that was it for me. But also when you do faux locks, that's a chance for you to try out different parting systems, you know, because there is so many, and that goes into that's part of your research. You know, there's so many different parting systems you can go with. There's the brick pattern, triangle, square. So with getting faux locks, you can, you know, play with that a little bit, see how they fall. I feel like that would be really beneficial to, you know, get faux locks, or just go crazy, do all your favorite hairstyles before deciding to commit to this journey. So yeah, I guess that's it. To sum up this video, the 3 main things I feel like you should do before locking your hair is do tons of research. You need to know everything. It's so important. Get to know your hair and love your natural hair. So get to know your hair type, get to know what it likes and what it doesn't, you know, your curl type, all the details of your natural hair. Get to know it, get to love it, and be comfortable with it, because this journey is it can get uncomfortable. So you need to have that security in your hair and security in knowing the process. I feel like with doing that research, you feel more secure, because you know what you need to know about what's going on with your head, where you don't have to frantically run and ask, you know, questions throughout your whole journey, because you did your research and you know what's going on. So even if someone makes a comment on your hair like, why you got all these lumps in your dread, it ain't supposed to look like that, you're like, no, those are called buds. It's in its budding stage and it'll pass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do your research, okay? And the last thing, do all your favorite hairstyles that you love, including faux locks, before getting locks, because once you're locked, you know, I mean, you can't go back, but once you're locked, it's like, it's done. So, you know, brush your scalp tons of times, okay? I love to brush, like the night before I locked, like I decided I'm done combing my hair, I was just sitting there brushing my hair for like an hour, just brushing my scalp, combing through it, you know, just all the things. So, you know, have that special time with your hair and let it know you love it and you're ready to let it do its own thing. You know, it's like a special ending of a certain relationship and beginning to a new relationship with your hair. So yeah, I guess I'll put it that way. So yeah, I know there's tons of tips that I could give that I think you should do, but then this video would be super long. So yeah, those are like the main 3 things that I tell someone whenever they say like, you know, I want to lock but I'm not really sure. And I'm like, what will make you sure is if you do these 3 things for the most part. But yeah, I know there's a ton more things. I'm sure y'all have found other things that you think. So let me know down below what you think someone should do before getting locked so they can go down there and read some more suggestions. So yeah, I'm about to get out of here. Before I end this video, I do want to say thank y'all so much for all the love on my last video. Like, y'all had me almost in tears. Everybody was so nice and just so encouraging with the nicest things to say, and I'm just like I couldn't take it. It was like so much. So thank y'all so much for all your encouraging words. I'm definitely taking it all in and taking y'all advice, and I know I'm gonna be good. You know, I wasn't like too down about it, but I was pretty hurt. Yeah, it just feels good that I got some real support. So that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed watching it. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to comment down below and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. My ponytail, my ponytail. You like my ponytail? My ponytail.